Hi, Talerecappedplus here. People from Earth named Adam and Jake are seen in their rocket in the year 2800. They are flying to a world called Antares, where a lot of people are said to live. It turns out that a dangerous virus has wiped out all sperm and women on Earth. The two pilots are now the only hope for people on Earth. They are supposed to go to Antares, find some women there, and persuade them to come to Earth with them. For boys. Soon after, when the spaceship gets close to Antares, the strange gravity pull there makes it suddenly unstable. Adam and Jake do their best to get back in charge of the ship, and they succeed in some ways, but it still crashes to the ground. Little injuries happen to both pilots, but Jake gets hurt the most. Then we see a picture of Antares taken from above. At the same time, Adam is treating Jake's cuts by injecting him with a futuristic needle that heals him on its own. As they talk, all of a sudden, the sound of a dog barking can be heard. They thought there was no life on the world until they heard the bark. The sound gives them new motivation, and Adam starts to follow it. He walks around for a while until he finds a boy who looks very crude and is holding his dog with a worried face. Adam tries to get close to the scared boy. Unfortunately, after only a few minutes, he is caught by the snake heads, who look like women dressed in basic military gear. The little boy is quickly knocked out and locked up, and his dog runs off. Adam, on the other hand, is looking at the strange place when a huge earthquake hits. He calls Jake right away through his high-tech watch and tells him to do a geoscan of the area because he is scared. After this, Adam goes deeper into the land until he finds a big temple. He sneaks in without being seen and is shocked to see a lot of women there. The world's women are in charge of everything, while the men are enslaved and some are used to have children. It looks like the women inside the temple are saying prayers for their snake lord. This is where we learn that the holy women are part of a cult led by the brave Taxon. At that very moment, the snake lord, who is a huge cobra, also appears from the ground. Then we meet Sumoru, the queen of the planet Antares. She doesn't seem too pleased with the cult's work. At the same time, the boy from earlier is brought into the room, and Adam is shocked and horrified as he watches. Taxon tells the boy that he is going to be killed and given to the Serpent Lord as an offering. When the boy's sister Dove, who is a soldier for the queen, hears this, she starts fighting with people from Taxon's group. This is where it becomes clear that the women in the temple are split into two groups. One works for Taxon and the other for the queen. As everyone watches, Dove keeps fighting by herself. Suddenly, the Serpent Lord swoops down and eats one of the group members. Taxon tells her women to catch Dove, but the queen stops them, saying it was just for self-defense. Before the two leaders could start their own fight, Adam, who had been hidden in a corner, got a call from a friend. This made everyone in the room aware of what was going on. Taxon tells her troops to go after him right away, but Adam uses one of his high-end guns to distract them and get away. Will, the little boy, also gets away from the temple during the chaos. After some time, Adam and the boy finally meet up and decide to leave Earth on a rocket. But one of Taxon's women shoots Adam in the leg before he can get in. Still, Jake and the boy help him get inside the spaceship. But it looks like the arrow was poisoned. The queen comes out with her troops and tells Taxon's cult group to leave. At first, they refuse to follow the rules, saying that it is okay for women to kill men. However, when Sumeru says that she is the queen and in charge of everything, they reluctantly leave. After this, the queen goes into the spaceship and talks to the aliens. Then she pulls out an anti-venom and injects it into Adam, which saves his life. The next scene shows Adam and Jake being taken to the queen's house, where they are able to meet up alone. According to the geoscans he did earlier, Jake says, he found out that the world is dying. That's why there are so many shocks. The world has a maximum of 2 months left before it ends itself. After that, Adam is taken to the queen's room to be questioned. He asks to be introduced and says that he is from Earth. He also says that the people on Antares are related to people on Earth because some people were sent there 1,000 years ago to change the climate. And for the first 100 years, they reported back on what they found. But after that, there were no more contacts. They didn't try to learn much about their people on Antares because Earth had a terrible war at the same time. The Queen is shocked to hear all of this, but she still backs the claims because their legend talks about a world called Earth. Queen Sumeru says that the people turn back to faith because of the constant earthquakes. As for the big cobra, it showed up out of nowhere. Adam tries to explain that the world is dying and that everyone needs to leave right away, but the news shocks him. The Queen doesn't want to hear from a man, though. She then starts to talk about why guys are in charge on Antares. She says that the men caused a big flash of light that killed many people a very long time ago. From that point on, the women had power over the land, and it was legal to kill men who didn't do what they were told. The Queen then takes Adam to a primitive mine where all the men are working as workers. The Queen says that men are either used as slaves to make sacrifices or sometimes to have babies. Adam doesn't like the sight, but when he tries to say what he thinks about it, he gets beat up and taken away. The guards are unfortunately attacked by Taxon's gang as they are taking him back to the Queen's home. The infamous group members kill all of the Queen's guards and catch Adam. In the meantime, Adam is taken to Taxon's room, where the Serpent Queen asks him to join their cause. She even gives him an intense kiss to get him to join their team. But Adam says no right away. If you think I'm a simp, you're wrong. They get into a fight over this, but Adam is saved by the Queen, who are pretending to be guards. Taxon tries to fight back, but the Queen gives her one punch and knocks her out. The astronauts talk about the planet's condition as they leave through the tubes, and Jake says that they have less time than he thought before. The Queen hears what they are saying and pulls out her locket, which has a special stone in it. It turns out that the element comes from a place called the burn zone. This is the same place where the Earthbound rocket landed 1,000 years ago. When the astronauts hear this, they get excited because they know they can get back to Earth, and the three of them begin to march toward the burn zone. They were able to avoid some of Taxon's guards and free some men who were being held as slaves along the way. When they finally get to the outside, Queen Sumeru tells the scientists that they still need to go a few kilometers because the burn zone is hidden behind a big hill. Jake and Adam decide to keep going on their trip. Adam tries to get the Queen to join them by telling her that it's safer up there on Earth. She kindly says no, though, saying that she doesn't rule the people but serves them. The group falls over right then because of a huge earthquake. Based on this, Jake figures out that the world is about to end in disaster. After some time, the group finds the bones of a man. When Jake looks at them, he learns that the man died about 900 years ago, the same year that people first came to Antares. It turns out that there was a solar blast in the area, which is another reason why most of the guys died.